Man, I can't sleep, guys. I got something on my mind. I got a lot on my mind. Let's look at this mess on my workbench, man. I gotta make room. See all this shit? Sorry. See all this crap? Somewhat better. Look at this. You wouldn't believe what's on my workbench, man. What do you think that is? I'll show you. See, guys, I got a problem, man. And it ties in with the topic of this morning's video. Everything here ties in. Look. Watch. He's been running for 3 days. I filled that pill bottle up all the way with water, and I haven't topped it off yet. Come on, man. Come on, Bob. You can do it. Come on. What does Bob have to do with today's speech? Today's babble? I hope this helps me get to sleep talk. Well, what is it? One of Boyle's laws of thermodynamics, the one that correlates volume, temperature, and pressure. See, guys, if it weren't for that principle, those laws of thermodynamics, the kidney dialysis machines I used to work on wouldn't have been possible. They were severely volumetric machines, the likes of which you can't imagine. I'll tell you about it. I'll give you a rough overview of how they work if you'd like sometime, man. But I gotta move along, man. I tend to babble, guys. I got a lot of shit. I'm sorry. I got a lot of scribblage here. Yeah, I like to scribble, guys. Do you? That also ties in with tonight's topic. What's the topic? Well, personality types, guys. Engineers versus technicians. I got a story for you. Surprise, surprise. I'll try to talk normal. When I was 5 years old, we moved to Lobdell Lake. We had a house right on the lake in Argentine, Michigan, tiny little town. Next door neighbors were the Morse family. I'm going to pause you and park you on my tripod. Hang on. See that variac down there? Let's get some more light on the subject, man. Okay. Check it out. A little story for you. Now, I'm going to pause you because we're no longer in need of the anti-shake mode, and I'm going to zoom you in on a little. Okay, guys, while you look at those 4 neodymium magnets, they're N52. They're severely powerful. They're small. You want to see how big they are? About 2/3 the size of my diameter of my finger, maybe half, right? They're wicked strong. They're grabby. Well, while you look at them, I'm going to tell you my story. Our next door neighbor family on Lobdell Lake in Argentine was the Morse family. The father's name was Tom Morse. 2 of his children, and one in particular, brutalized me mentally and emotionally. Utterly fucking brutalized me. Made me terrified of human beings. Click. There's the first click in my personality formation. I became utterly terrified of people. You can't imagine how terrified I became, pathologically so. As I talk, we'll look at a few different items on my bench. You may notice a problem of mine. You may notice a common thread in a moment. It's a little silicone patch heater, 15 watts, 120 volts. Think I'm throwing that away? Nope. I can't. I save my shit. Stuff. Treasures. What'll I do with it? I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that makes me ask that question. Oh, I don't know. I got a whole drawer of stuff that I don't know. Here, man. Mount that little 300-watt power inverter on my tractor. Make a cup holder for my cup of delicious instant swill for when I plow. But I digress. See that? What's that? Well, a little plastic bottle. What's on the bottom? Tape. Blue tape. This tape. Why? It doesn't slide around as easily. The plastic on the wood slides. What is it? Well, underneath it's full of a wad of paper towel, and just underneath the surface is a couple neodymium coin-sized magnets. They're about shaped like a quarter. What's it for? Well, when I work on vintage equipment, I don't like losing the screws. And it's so powerful, I don't even have to come close. Okay? Sorry about the light. Hope my pumpkins didn't scare you. They're lit. Using 2 AAA rechargeable cells in a holder that's designed for AA cells. How? Well, 2 neodymium magnets, right? Speaking of which, look at that stack of them hanging from that ultra-fine thread. Why? What is it? It's a compass. Can you believe that? Can you? Can you believe that, man? You know what that is, don't you? Look at those tiny little neodymium magnets. They're tiny. They're strong. They're N52 neodymium magnets. Back to my story. Hang on. Okay, I have to move along. What do we have here? Well, I'll show you. I bought this on eBay. The frequency dial from my Heathkit SB102 transceiver, the one I used the whole time in Seattle, the one I used to run less than a watt of RF output from, whilst it consumed about 60 watts of electrical juice. And this will be the last view as I tell my story. So, Tom Morris's children brutalized me mentally and emotionally, but it's yin and yang of life, man. The flip side of the coin is that Tom Morris was an engineer with Michigan Bell Telephone. He took me into his garage. Hey, man, you want to see something cool? You want to see me tear this? I forget what it is now. You want to see me tear it apart? Yeah. All right. I trusted him for some reason. And he proceeded to teach me the love of tearing things apart and figuring out how they work. You know, he taught me the love of gadgets, mechanical and electrical. That ties in to the subject of tonight's talk. I don't know if he was a technician or an engineer. There's a definite difference in personality types. Me? I never grew up, and this is what you're looking at here. Let me show you some garbage, man. You might think it's garbage. I obviously don't. I never threw it away. This is the high current 12-volt switch from one of those car pack jump starter packs, an old school one. Think I'm throwing that away? A switch that can switch, 60, 80 amps or more. Not throwing that away, man. Let's get this out of the way. Look at this. That's a little LED out of the same unit. Not throwing it away. Odds are it'll go on my tractor somewhere. I saved it because I thought of mounting it under the back end to light the hydraulic control lever I put under there. right? This is the same. No, it's not. This is a little work light, little strip cob light. Not throwing it away. It'll become a project. It'll become landfill probably, but here, man, you want to see something nuts? Hang on. I pause you. Okay, back to this, guys. What's the plastic wadded up in those magnets? What's the aluminum foil sticking out? I got to wondering, man. Well, okay. Oh boy, I'll show you why I made the thing with the foil. It's embarrassing, man. I'll show you what those are for, okay, in a minute. But why did I stick them together with plastic in the middle? I think you know where I'm going with this. What do you see there? You know what I see? I see a capacitor. And you know what I had to do? I had to do a little experimenting with different dielectric materials with my meter connected to those terminals, the aluminum foil terminals, right? And those magnets are so powerful. That's saran wrap. Those magnets are so strong. With one layer of saran wrap, they crushed it and shorted. I had to fold it twice. It took 4 layers of saran wrap to make those magnets separate. See how I get off on magnets? I get off on them. 19 picofarads. Here, man, I gotta take that apart, and it's not easy. Hang on. I pause you. Okay, see those batteries there? My AAA rechargeables? Some devices take 3 cells. My charger only does them in pairs of 2. So I oftentimes want to discharge a cell, or I'd like to test a cell. Well, let me demonstrate. I think you know where I'm going with this. Click. There's one connection, right? Click. There you go. Or if you want to, you need a quick 3-volt power supply. Click. Oh boy, reach over you. Click. Click. Man, there's so much I wanted to talk about tonight, but this is getting on the time. I wanted to show you something a display that captivated me. I'm going to set something up here. Every time I pause and unpause you, the phone bobbles around, so I have to edit this. What you're looking at there is a doodle of how a display worked, and it captivated me. I used to go in at Rickman's drugstore on the corner of Mackin Road and Chevrolet Avenue in Flint, Michigan, as I grew up in the 70s. It had something on there that used to sit there and just gently swing back and forth, and it never stopped. I looked behind it. I snuck a peek behind it, and it had a coil, had a curved wire. It had what you see there, and it had a little magnet glued to the wire, and 1D cell. I'll talk about that another time. Blitzy's unhappy. I got to see what's going on with baby boy. Okay, I referred back to my list of what I wanted to cover tonight. Personality types, engineer versus technician. My question to you guys, what type of person are you? Are you a technician or an engineer? Did you screw with everything you could get your hands on as you grew up? Did you tear everything apart in your house? Your mom's and dad's alarm clocks? The old mechanical wind-up ones, man. Did you tear their doorknobs off their house to figure out how they work? I did. I had my hands on everything. I was testing the tubes in their TV set. Remember, it's the early 70s. By the age of 10, were you? Or are you an engineer and you're more into design, mathematics, formulas, rules. That's what I'm curious. What kind of person are you? Please leave a comment and let me know. Next item. Oh, I've never grown up. That's why I wanted to show you all this bullshit. I've never grown up, man. You know what I used to do? I have clear. Here, man. I pause. I have a vivid memory of fourth grade one day at Longfellow Junior High School. We were in the mobile units outside. My friends Joel, and my friend Brian, my two good friends, and I. This day we had little Christmas lights. A Christmas light in a single bulb in a socket with two little wires sticking out, and we each had a battery. We were comparing our batteries and our lights. I never outgrew my love of lights. I never did, man. Look, test light for tractors. I've talked about it before for testing circuits in cars, tractors, trucks, you name it, 12-volt machines. Why an LED will not do the job. And oh boy, did I have to laugh while watching a video tonight about that very thing. I never outgrew my love of magnets and lights. I never changed as I grew up. The unfed halfway brand, oh boy, that'll be a separate video. I'll mention that. A mini rant. I was listening to a special event station. I hope it's not one of you guys. I was listening to a special event station. His call letters are W2W. You know how he signed W2? This is a special event station, W2W. And I'm like, what? What's the 2W stand for? Is he running 2 watts? Is it W2WW? That's not a special. I was, man, and he did it every single time. W2W. Whoa. And so I had to listen. It was a commemorating Pearl Harbor, the bombing of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And and he was in New York City, and a couple hams, or one ham in particular, asked him, "Are you I forget exactly how were you was a relative veteran that served during Pearl Harbor or something?" And he said, "No." He said, "Actually, I've never been in the service, nor has anyone in my family." And he started talking, and he was in the state of New York. Why the hell was he granted a special event call to commemorate Pearl Harbor? You know what I mean? How about letting someone, a veteran, have it, a vet, or somebody whose dad or uncle or grandpa fucking died in Pearl Harbor, or at least survived it? And while we're on the subject of special event station, what's up with these nets? What's up with the YL system net? I heard a woman on there once. It's been co-opted by men. It's not a YL system net. It's just an excuse for men to fucking key up and activate their lips. Unless you think I'm just a grumpy old bastard. Let's start over. Lest you think I just hate nets. I don't. I used to wonder why people join nets like e-cars and all those, you know. I used to wonder, and all the other nets, you've heard them, man. The ones where you check in and report your temperature. I used to wonder why. And then I got a little older and retired, and I know exactly why now. Because it gives these fellas something to do. It gives them It's part of the routine of their day, and there's nothing wrong with it. They enjoy it, so let them. You know, does that serve a purpose? Hell, I don't know. Is it over reliant on NetLogger? Yeah, damn. Talk about 1984. Yeah, boy, NetLogger, that's a topic of another rant. And yeah, I can see, and honestly, man, you sit and watch, listen to a net where everyone checks in and reports their temperature. It's oddly fascinating. So there, I tip you down. I not pause you. This is a landfill. This is my shit. Sorry, this is my to-do list, to babble list. Compasses, lights of any kind, yep, talked about it. Crystal bulb, yep. Magnets, yep. Motor I built. Nope. Let's skip that. Speakers. I loved speakers. My friends and I used to bring them to school and show them off to each other. Why? Well, they made sound. They made sound under my pillow at night when I was supposed to be sleeping. They transferred the audio from mom and dad's TV set in the living room upstairs to my bedroom so I could listen to TV while supposedly sleeping. Speakers have magnets. I used to religiously go to an appliance store on Flushing Road in Flint called Nob Hill Market. Right next to that market was a TV repair shop, and oh, the treasures I found behind there, man. Oh, speakers, tubes, valves. Okay, next item, wire to Joe's. Those speakers that we got, my friend Joe and I, who later went on to drop out of high school and become a robotics engineer that earned just gross amounts of money. He's a mechanical genius who built robotic assembly lines for a living. Yeah, when we were about 10 years old, maybe younger, we ran a wire all the way down a block from my house to his, about 10 houses apart, maybe 12 houses apart, and we connected them to speakers. I can't remember what we did with that. Anyway, man, hang on. One last. I pause. Okay, I stand up. I gotta talk quiet. Kyle went to bed. Blitzen's looking at me like I'm crazy. And this is on topic. This is my last example of what kind of kid I was. I was fascinated by motors. So I built one. This is the armature. I use wood, a wooden stick of some sort. These are two nails facing opposite ways so that it'd be balanced. I wrapped them with a coil of wire, making an electromagnet out of them. This is a split ring contact. I forget now how I made it. I honestly can't remember, but I made it out of crap. Where were the brushes? Right here. This is a wooden base. A screw, copper wire that rubbed on each side of that split ring. Connect these two wires to your battery and you've energized that electromagnet. How did I support the armature on the wooden base? Well, with a screw and a real stiff piece of wire. Might have used coat hanger. I don't know. One on each end. And of course, a magnet on each side with opposite poles of the magnets pointed toward the electromagnet on the armature. Took some screwing around. I remember screwing around with it for probably a few hours once I got it all put together, and I got it to work. I got it to spin like mad. Were you like that? when you were a kid? And I'm wondering, if you were like that, did you become an engineer or a technician or neither? That's what I'm curious about. If you're an engineer right now or a retired one, or you're going into engineering, did you screw around like that as a kid? That's what I wonder. That's the topic of tonight's talk. I wanted to talk to you about troubleshooting. I was shocked. I'm not going to talk about this right now, but I watched a video tonight by a mower guy channel that I enjoy. He's looks like I'm not saying not a kid though. I don't want to hurt any feelings, man. I was utterly shocked at his lack of troubleshooting ability with an electrical circuit. And I want to ask you guys a question about troubleshooting a very simple electrical circuit. That'll be the topic of another video, maybe the next video. This is getting long. I don't know if I can even edit this now. I don't know if I even want to. Yeah, I guess I have to. Anyway, let me ask you this simple, quick question. Are you utterly ignorant when it comes to electrical troubleshooting? It's okay if you are. I'm just curious. You don't have to answer me. But let me toss this out there. I can play almost any song I hear on a 12 string. I can duplicate music like there's no tomorrow, man. Yet I can't write a song. And I don't mean lyrics. I mean, I can't write a song on a 12 string. I've tried. Can't do it. I'm not an artist. I'm a robot when it comes to 12 string playing. I can barely draw a stick man. You know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this, right? Are you utterly ignorant when it comes to electrical troubleshooting? That's okay. I'm just curious. Sorry for the long rambling video. I hope Kyle's not too mad at me. I hope I can get to sleep. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to be up till 7 o'clock in the morning editing this, then I'm going to crash. I hope Bob stops someday. I hope you're well. Take care. 73 guys.